food was one of the most important things for our community, and also developing our sense of identity, and also sharing with other people.
I just woke up and now I'm gonna make breakfast Korean style because I am Korean.
I decided to bake a gongcha because growing up, they were always around when I would go to visit with my family up in Ventura. My granny would always have them for Sunday brunch.
The Japanese dish I picked is sekihan. That is sweet rice with red beans.
Hi, today I'm making Thai omelette or kai jiao. I think my grandma taught me how to make it.
This is how I measure, and I learned from my mother. But you're supposed to leave about up to this part of your finger.
I learned how to make it through my mom. I think she learned the recipe from like one of her family members growing up. She has the recipe like handwritten out, and it's kind of been like passed down throughout time.
Usually when I'm back home, my mom cooks dinner for the family every night, and so my whole life we would have rice every night. It's very important to Chinese culture. Growing up Korean, rice is like the main dish for us, and the way we eat, like the style we eat is like we have our rice and we just have like a whole bunch of side dishes.
The two staples I think in like Salvadoran food is definitely tortillas and beans. Like I used to just come home and eat tortillas, beans, and like eggs or cheese. Yeah.
Like in Cantonese, when you tell someone to eat, you say sikfan, which literally translates to eat rice, whether you're actually eating rice that meal or not. This in Korean is called oi kimchi. I think most people would recognize kimchi looking like the fermented cabbage style, which we also have. So like always rice and some kind of vegetable, and then some kind of meat or protein, and my mom would cook it all Cantonese style.
The importance of this to me is that my grandma has made it ever since she moved in. It's a childhood staple of mine.
La importancia de la comida que estás haciendo.
Es una comida típica del Salvador.
Thai omelette is like a staple food in Thailand. You know, when you are on a budget or if you don't have anything in your pantry, you can always make Thai omelette.
You can literally find these at gas stations for like $1 to $5 in American USD, but you can also find it at really high-end expensive restaurants. This dish has a range.
Salvador, ¿cuánto cuesta?
10 centavos.
10 centavos. ¿Y aquí?
Y 2.50.
Ajá.
Sí. I remember eating a lot of it when I was growing up, especially like during springtime or during St. Patrick's Day. Like we would always have kind of like an abundance of it around that time of the year.
We eat sekihan on a special occasion to celebrate something like graduation, wedding, or milestone birthdays, and some other stuff.
I don't know anybody who makes homemade gongchas. Usually you would go to the bakery before your event or the holiday to make sure you have them in supply.
So we are gonna put the rice, or how I eat it. So we're gonna put the rice in the seaweed and a little bit of egg and a little bit of kimchi. We eat it like this.
Ah, yummy. And I don't like touching my food. Just wrap it with my chopstick.
So now that I'm away from home, I try to recreate that. Like, I'm not nearly as good of a cook, so I kind of just make my own simple version, but it still reminds me of a home-cooked meal or something my mom would cook. So yeah, this is definitely one of my comfort foods that reminds me of home.
So I did not make up this recipe. I did not learn this recipe from a family member. I actually found it on Google because the recipe is vegan friendly, which is great. And I wanted to make the point that you can go vegan without sacrificing any part of your culture.
This is how I've been eating for a lot of my life. What my mom gave me to eat. Now I will finish eating this. Bye bye.